Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to a place that's smaller than most city parks, but its influence is absolutely massive, felt on every single continent. You guessed it, we're talking about the Vatican.
So let me just start with a question for you. And it kind of sounds like a riddle. Is it possible for an entire independent country to fit inside just one city? I mean, that sounds impossible, right?
Well, believe it or not, the answer is a huge yes. Welcome to Vatican City. This is the place that proves you really don't need big borders to have a massive influence.
Okay, so what makes the Vatican just so fascinating is this paradox, right? It's a completely sovereign country, but when you're actually there, on the ground, it just feels like a neighborhood. So let's dive into this geographic wonder. Get this. The Vatican is officially the smallest independent state in the entire world. And to give you some perspective, you could literally walk from one end of it to the other in less than an hour. But even with that tiny footprint, its spiritual reach, well, that stretches to every single corner of the globe.
So it's a perfect example of what's called an enclave. You've got a sovereign nation, Vatican City, and it's completely 100% surrounded by a single city, Rome, in Italy. It doesn't share a border with any other country, just the city of Rome. But you know, its incredible geography is really just the start of the story. The Vatican's real power, its true power, comes from being the spiritual and administrative heart of the Catholic Church. And right at the center of that heart, you have the Pope. I mean, the Vatican isn't just some symbolic place. It's the actual official home and workplace for the leader of over 1 billion Catholics all around the world. Just having him there makes this tiny little spot a true global center of faith. Here's a little bit of history for you, though. The Pope wasn't always based here. For centuries, actually, the main papal residence was a place called the Lateran Palace. It was only in the 14th century that things shifted to the Apostolic Palace, right there inside the Vatican walls. And that move basically cemented this area as the permanent center of the papacy. And it's that spiritual gravity that just pulls millions of people here every single year. You can really feel the history when you walk across the giant St. Peter's Square. Or, you can find a quiet moment for yourself inside the absolutely stunning St. Peter's Basilica, where you're just surrounded by centuries of art and faith. And all of that devotion to faith over all those centuries, well, it's created one of the world's greatest collections of art. Seriously, the Vatican isn't just a center for religion. It is an absolute treasure chest of culture. All right, so just imagine for a second, you're walking through these long halls and they are filled to the brim with masterpieces that popes have collected over hundreds and hundreds of years. Well, that's exactly the experience when you step inside the Vatican museums. And deep inside these museums, you find the artistic heart of the entire Vatican, a place so famous it's become a global symbol of pure creative genius. We're talking, of course, about the Sistine Chapel. And its legendary status, that's really all thanks to one artist, Michelangelo. I mean, his frescoes on the ceiling and the altar wall, they're just breathtaking. They're so much more than just paintings. They are a cornerstone of Renaissance art, a massive story of humanity, from creation all the way to the Last Judgment. Okay, so let's recap. We've got this tiny, tiny nation that's also the heart of a global faith and a world-class art museum. So how do all these pieces fit together? What's the real story of its importance? Well, the thing is, the Vatican's true significance isn't just about one of those things. It's about the powerful way that religion, history, and art all come together. Think about it like this. The history, with the popes, provided all the power and the money to pay for all this priceless art. And that art, it was made to glorify and share the spiritual message of the church. See? These three things, faith, history, and art, you just can't separate them. They're woven together, and that's what gives this tiny nation its huge, outsized impact on the world. And that really leaves us with one last thought to chew on. How can one tiny place, a place smaller than a lot of city parks, hold so much monumental history, so much faith, and so much artistic genius? It's really a testament to the power of ideas, isn't it? Because ideas, well, they can never be confined by borders.